Have a question here asking if a landlord can serve a 3-day notice on the second day of the month when you're only 1 day late on the rent. Hi, my name is Rob Wells. I'm the Landlord Boy on TikTok. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our videos. Now, hypothetically, yes, a landlord could serve a notice to a tenant, on the second day that they're late on their rent. If the lease just particularly defines, rent's due on the first and delinquent the next day, that's one thing. However, there's some other considerations that need to be taken into account as well too, such as if the first lands on a legal holiday or a weekend, generally a tenant would have the next business day to pay the rent. Also too, each individual lease would need to be reviewed, for regards as to like a grace period. Some leases have like rent's due on the first, but then doesn't become delinquent until after, if not received by like the fifth of the month, for example. Okay, technically under the eviction, the non-payment of rent statute, the law says basically your rent has to be delinquent or late, basically. So if there's a grace period, it's not delinquent yet. So it would be premature to issue a 3-day notice for rent when the rent is not actually due as well. There's also provisions too, most lease agreements presume, or state that rent's due in advance on the first of the month. If your lease was silent as to, the rent not being due in advance, technically it's due at the end of the month. So there's a lot of things going into that, that factor into whether or not a landlord could issue a notice for non-payment of rent. Generally speaking, you're going to have to be late with your rent first. So landlords, if you have a question about what your lease says, or if the legality of issuing a 3-day notice for rent and you're in the Northern California area, feel free to reach out. We might be able to help you out there, because you don't want to be wrong on that issue, because if you do it too early, rent's not delinquent, your case could get thrown out in court. So put your comments, questions down below. Until next time, folks, I'll talk to you then. Thanks.